So when your faith is stretched, know that God has something much more than your personal desires in mind. When your faith is stretched, know that God has something much more than your personal desires in mind. God doesn't want us to beg him for our daily survival, what we will need to survive. He doesn't want us to beg him. He said, look at the sparrow. Look at the song they sang. He said, if God cares about the sparrow, how much more will God not care about you and I? He said, even the grass of the field. He said, so why do you worry about clothing? He said, consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. He said, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. And yet they are there today and gone tomorrow. And if God took time to clothe them specially, why do you think God does not have an interest in your life? So he said, oh, you of little faith. So faith that is little at the beginning stages is faith that is concerned and obsessed with material things. That is not, or that was not the reason why God gave us the faith. So he said, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things. You know what he's trying to say? What he's trying to say is that the faith I gave you was not for these things. These things, it is my responsibility to provide for you. And I'm not a wicked father. But the faith I gave you was for you to see the kingdom. But you have not gotten to a point where you have been able to develop that faith to see the kingdom. So I'm going to make sure I delay you on this and take you through the process and work on your faith much more. So 1 Peter 1:6-7 talks about the trial of our faith. How our faith sometimes will be passed through fire. You know, and it says our faith will be passed through fire. 1 Peter 1:6-7. In this you greatly rejoice, though now for a little while, if need be, you have been grieved by various trials, that the genuineness of your faith, being much more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to the praise, honor, and glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ. It says that when your faith is stretched, it means that God has something much more in mind than your personal needs. So relax. Just find out what God is doing in your life. I know people who set out, believing God for children, and they found ministry out of that. I know people who were going through issues and they started praying, taking prayer seriously. By the end of the day, they became prayer warriors. They became prayer giants in the kingdom. And so they were chasing something, and God was using that thing as a bait. That thing will, if this is what will get you to come to me every day to pray, so be it. Anytime you come, I'm building something in you. You don't know what I'm building in you. You think that I'm delaying you. No, I'm building. You were made for much more than FFF. You were made for much more than FFF. And so when you come to me with FFF, food, fashion, and future, and you are worried and all that, then I'm telling you that, no, start doing what faith was supposed to be used to do. Seeking the kingdom and his righteousness. Because the same faith you will need to receive things from God is the same faith you will need, number one, to find out what would you have me do? What is my place in your body? What should I do? What should I be doing now in the kingdom? It's the same faith. It takes faith to go before God, to ask God, to seek to hear God, hear God's purpose concerning your life. It is faith. So he said you are using it wrongly. You are just using it, wasting it. It's like the way we waste prayer and fasting. If you pray and fast for material things, you are wasting it. It doesn't take prayer and fasting to get God to give you material things. No. I'll talk about prayer and fasting. You will know why we pray and fast. Jesus Christ said, while the bridegroom is here, there's no need to pray and fast. But when he's taken away, then you will fast. If any fasting you embark on which doesn't have intimacy as the reason, it's a wasted fast. Because the reason why we fast in the New Testament is because the bridegroom is not here. So to break the gap, then you fast, you abstain, so that the spirit can be released to engage the bridegroom. So let us not waste our faith. Don't waste your faith. What you are believing God for, God will do it for you. Don't give up.